the idea that we're all children of some super intelligence, and that if we give up our greed and selfishness and love other people like we love ourselves, then that would create like if everyone did that, then we would be living on this would be utopia. We would be in some kind of super communist, mystical, spiritual state where everyone's completely connected with each other. Like, imagine really feeling about everyone around you the same way you feel about yourself. It means don't differentiate other people from your life. No more differentiation. We're all the same. We're all completely connected. We're all children of this universe, and so we should treat each other with love.
Yeah, that doesn't work with society, though. Unfortunately, like there would have to be some gigantic event that got rid of currency, or got rid of the idea of competing for currency. Because as long as people are still competing for job positions, competing their company against other companies, and as long as there's capitalism going on, that push for money, that push to make money, you're always going to get this same kind of douchey, cunty, chimp-like behavior. It's a competition. It's obvious, way obvious, that most people are working way harder than is both healthy and is desirable. They're working like ridiculous hours and pushing harder than ever because they need more money. They want more money. They need more money. It's like there's a drive, like a fucking wild machine behind it. That's, as long as that's there, fuck, man. How are you going to get everybody to just have resources available? You're going to trust people to work? You're going to trust everyone to put in their share? Like, all of us are going to trust all of us? And what do we do when someone doesn't? If we're supposed to love them like we love ourselves, are we just supposed to like let them just fuck everything up all around them and let them go into super sabotage spin out mode where they destroy everything in their vicinity and nobody stops them from doing that? Because that's like a spoiled child. We've seen that before. Yeah,
that's the other crazy aspect of Christianity, is it's ultra pacifism. It's like super pacifism, and the message of the thing was supposed to be, look, this being that they're killing is the physical manifestation of the universe. It could fight back. It could shoot lasers out of its eyes. It's a superhero, but it's letting itself, I don't know, I'm calling Jesus an it, whatever. It's letting itself get killed to give a message, and the message is this: there are some things that are more important than life. And if you want to get caught up in this dimension and you want to save your body, you want to try to save your body, go ahead. It's going to die no matter what. You're dead meat. It's like there's no way you're going to make it through this dimension. No one makes it out alive, whatever Jim Morrison said. No one gets out of this alive. We all die. So if you want to like focus and fixate on protecting yourself, fine. But the idea is like you're supposed to completely surrender to this energy.
Right.
And then and once you really make that move, which they say is an act of faith, which by the way, this is purely speculation. I have not given my heart to Jesus, but I think about what would happen if you did just become completely
everyone.
Yeah, what would that be? Obviously, it's not possible.
Right. But why? And who would make cars? And how would there be competition? How is there this? How would there be any form of capitalism the way we have it right now? How would our society, the monetary system, how would it be set up the way it wouldn't be? It couldn't be. It's impossible.
Not the way it is now. No,
it's impossible.
It couldn't exist. The church couldn't exist. Society couldn't exist.
So how would we revamp it? How would we put it all into perspective? Put it all into order? How would we ensure that everyone follows along with it? We're not. Is that like is that the next stage of evolution? Is the next stage of evolution the idea that people have gotten to a point technologically where we can start to join together as one thing again? You know what I'm saying? Like that there had to be a certain peak of competition to get us to a point where we have created some really boundary dissolving technology. And when that point happens, then through that very technology, as in the internet, people slowly start to assimilate to some level of understanding and awareness that wasn't previously achieved because there was this constant state of competition to try to get to that technological point.
And that's where you run into a problem. Because once you start getting to that state that you're talking about, and I think a lot of people are.
Aren't we at it right now?
Yeah.
We are, right?
Yeah. And that's when you get to that state and suddenly you're in Egypt because you're starting to understand about what's going on, and you're getting this information from the internet showing you what other people in other parts of the world, how they're living. The point is suddenly, like, a lot of shit starts seeming really like we've been asked to believe a lot of stuff. And kind of like you ask your kids to believe a lot of stuff when they're growing up, and you do it to keep them safe. You tell them these stories and you want them to believe it. But eventually your kid knows that, you know, whatever story you told him about where the baby is coming from isn't completely real, and your kid's going to start wanting to know the truth. And then at that age, you tell your kid the truth, and it's uncomfortable or whatever, you would tell them the truth. But now it's like we still have kings. We have kings and queens. They're still serious kings. And you're expecting people to keep believing this king is any more special than anyone else? Like, okay, you want me to keep buying this thing about the king, about how he gets to wear the throne and gets to have the giant fucking mansion that he lives in and all this property he lives in because he's a king and he's in the bloodline of some what? What are you talking about? We're all the same, man. I got to keep playing this fucking masquerade party with you and believe you're a king? How much longer do I have to do this? Because I'm hungry. You know? It's like that kind of stuff where people are like, okay, so you're a president? Oh, I get it. Okay, so I guess I'm supposed to believe that there's a government, which is mostly just like, 120 old men in a room. I'm supposed to believe they're the ones who know how to do everything and that system's the right way. And it's like all that stuff starts, you know, spreading where people are like, I don't know if I can believe the whole you're a cop, I'm a person thing. It's getting kind of hard for me. I mean, I believe it because you got a billy club and you're fucking beating my friend in a wheelchair to death. But I'm not sure if you really represent the real authority of the world. And so that kind of stuff starts emerging as people evolve. And the authority in the world's like, fuck, you got to believe the game. If you don't believe this fucking game, we don't know what to do. What are we going to do? We can't just reformat everything all of a sudden.
So do you think that law enforcement almost inhibits evolution by creating this culture where people are getting constantly in